Hello, this is Alessandra Carreno from the 12 o'clock turn up on whitradio.org. And today I have with me Cassandra, Waleed, and Joe.
Hey guys.
So, you all know that on the 6th of November, marijuana was legalized for recreational use in Colorado and Washington State.
That's cool.
So now, anyone over the age of 21 can possess up to an ounce of marijuana for recreational use, and they can also grow up to 6 marijuana plants in their homes as of the 1st of January.
You guys know what to get me for my birthday then.
Oh my. So, believe it or not, in the U.S., 7.3% of Americans over 12 years old reported using marijuana last year, and over 7.6 Americans admitted to using marijuana daily or almost daily in 2012. That's a lot of people. And so only 20 states and Washington, D.C. have legalized medical marijuana use, but Colorado and Washington State became the first states in the United States to legalize marijuana for recreational use. That's huge. And so on January 1st, Colorado began the sales of marijuana to anyone over the age of 21, and sales were an instant success, and recreational marijuana sales exceeded $5 million in just the first week. So...
That's a lot of money, $5 million.
So what's your opinion on the legalization of marijuana for recreational use?
I think it should be like kind of a big thing. Like if we're making $5 million off selling a couple of plants, I mean, does it even have long-term effects? No, not really. It's a quick high. People like it. Mm-hmm. I think it's a good thing that it's becoming like a legal thing.
Yeah.
It may sound a little ignorant, but like it really doesn't even kill anybody. It's like it doesn't, like you said, it doesn't have long-lasting effects. I mean, you might do something stupid, but like it's not like you're gonna go die from it. And like, I don't know. I think that they're making a big deal out of like not having it legalized in so many like states, because I don't really see a big deal in having it legalized, you know. Mm-hmm. So I mean,
yeah, there's 0 deaths reported of
cigarettes
marijuana-related deaths.
Cigarettes kill more than
There's
marijuana, and that's still legal.
Yeah,
like how does that even make sense?
Alcohol. That's
another
thing.
Alcohol, not just alcohol. Alcohol causes tons of things. Yeah. Drunk driving, everything like that.
Exactly. Out of drunk driving, I read somewhere it's 88,000 people die per year because of alcohol.
And even with weed, it's more of like a kind of relaxing thing. Like it relaxes. People do it because it relaxes them. And if you think about it, all these things that are legalized, like alcohol, for example, when people are under the influence, sometimes they're more aggressive. Like they hurt their families. It causes situations that are really bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like there's a reason it's used for medical purposes. Like it's obviously something that has
reason,
positive things.
And you can't overdose on it either. Yeah. You can't. It's highly unlikely to overdose on marijuana.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
So it smells bad, but that's about it.
So do you think, speaking of the pros, do you think there are any cons to legalizing marijuana?
No, because everyone's just going to be home. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to do anything bad. Everyone's just going to be home, chilling on the couch. Yeah. I mean, people are going to get fatter because they're just hungry all the time.
Oh, my.
Well, actually, like, I support the use of marijuana, but I think that if you keep it, like, over 21, that's good. But because I've heard stories, like, my friend's dad told me a story one time about how there was a kid in the building, and I think it was in Newark, and what happened was he got high on his rooftops, and what happened was he was kind of gone, and he was like, you know what, I guess he thought he was Superman or something, and he jumped. Wow. So
yeah,
it's like,
I know like a few people that have high doses of marijuana, and then it ends up they have psychotic experiences, and they also, it's because they say, and it also contains high, it's worse than cigarettes basically because it has more chemicals.
Yeah.
And that's bad for your lungs. It could cause lung cancer.
See, I think that's like where the con comes in, because like if you're not using it like responsibly. I mean, I don't know if there's a responsible way to be using it, but I mean, you're gonna get high on your rooftop, and
of course, yeah,
it's not.
Yeah, it causes hallucinations and paranoia.
Exactly.
So.
This is legalized.
If anything,
has to
stay
be,
in
like,
your basement
strict.
and just like.
Of course, yeah, it would be.
You can't jump
Yeah.
off your basement.
Exactly, you can't jump off your basement. I tried.
Mr. P, can I butt in here for a second?
Of course.
How do you regulate people driving under it? It's much harder to maybe enforce than alcohol. You can sense when somebody on alcohol is driving erratically, but somebody on pot, it's very their perception is not good and other things. So, how do you enforce that?
I think that there needs to be very strict rules when you're driving under any influence. So, I mean, driving under the influence of alcohol is taken very seriously, and there's serious repercussions that can come from it. So I think marijuana should just be doubled. Like, it should be taken even more seriously because it's a drug. So
And it's a
alcohol is
hallucination,
a
like,
drug.
Yeah, no,
Well,
and
yeah.
also I just
Yeah.
I found something to help you out, you know, and it says that every study showed marijuana had a slight impact on
Psychosis?
psychomotor skills needed to drive, but these studies were seemed to limited since they were done in a lab situation. It says that if you use marijuana within 3 hours of driving, we're nearly twice as likely to cause a crash as sober drivers. So, basically,
I mean,
yeah,
like,
there needs to be strict rules enforced.
I mean, like everything, every drug, you
Yeah,
should use it responsibly.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna drink, you have to make sure that you have a ride home. So you're not endangering others. It's okay that you want to, like, when you drink, that is your life. You can drink, and if you kind of not overdose, but drink too much, you're eventually gonna have, what is it, liver cancer that it hits? You're eventually gonna have liver cancer, and you know what? That is your fault, and it's sad, but I'd rather someone hurt themselves than, like, that's it, and rather than go home and try to drive recklessly, and instead of one person dying, we have a whole car accident.
Yeah, and unless it's like there's a serious case of alcoholism or something else, usually people only drink at like parties, and that's when the designated driver has to come in hand.
Yeah.
So if marijuana is legalized, there should be a designated driver as well.
also, I think you should just wait until it kind of wears off. You shouldn't just go like, oh, okay, so I decided to go drive now.
Yeah.
Like when you just started smoking.
Yeah,
So.
of course. So do you think in the near future marijuana could be legalized across the whole United States?
Yeah.
Definitely, please do it, because honestly, $5 million in 1 week is an amazing amount of money.
Yeah.
You know how, like, first thing, it opens up so many jobs. Drug dealers don't really have to be, like, undercover. They can have a store or whatever. Like, how many stores? I mean, it sounds crazy now, but marijuana stores could be normal in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it could be like, oh, it's like an alcohol store. Like, if you see a liquor store, it's like, oh, whatever. But if you see a marijuana store, it's like it's crazy.
Yeah.
But hopefully one day, if they start opening around the country, more jobs are presented, more stores are open, and more money is made from our country in general, and our economy could go up from this. I mean, even back then in like the 17th century, what kind of gave our country the jump start was tobacco, and that's kind of a drug that it's like used now like all the time.
Yeah, marijuana could be seen as the tobacco of the 1700s now.
Seriously, could be like a smart investment.
Exactly.
It would make a lot
Especially
of money.
since we're in so much debt, maybe that could help.
Yeah, I
Even-
think it'll really help.
Even
with
now, you know how the
everyone's-
worth of the dollar is going down. If anything, like, I'm not saying marijuana could bring it up, but like immediately. But instead of trading money for goods, we could trade like marijuana for goods, like something like that. We could bring that back into our economy, and it would kind of boost it up a bit.
And also, you've been to California, Venice Beach.
Yeah.
It's literally every single block there's 2 or 3 stores.
Yeah.
And it's medical marijuana, and you still see those stores packed because
Yeah.
they're still paying to get a treatment.
Of course.
And that's crazy because they're making a lot of money out of that.
yeah.
Also, medical marijuana, it's like, I don't know. I feel like at first I was kind of skeptical of it. I was like, how are more chemicals gonna help cancer patients? But you know what? Honestly, dealing with the stress of everything, because literally, like when I first heard of it, I was in like 7th grade. I didn't know what stress was.
Mm-hmm.
But now realizing what pressure it is that I have just with school. Like imagine a kid that has pressure with school and now he has cancer too. So I understand how marijuana can kind of relieve the stress.
And it's not only cancer. They actually told my dad he could get marijuana because he had just surgery on his back. And they said if the pain was bad enough, he could actually sign up for medical marijuana. But he didn't want to.
So if marijuana was legalized in your area for recreational use, would you buy it and use it if you were of age, of course?
Of age, probably.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, I'm not gonna go and like driving it or anything like that.
Yeah, of course.
I would probably be as responsible as possible, but I mean, I don't see the problem with it other than like the things that we did talk about. But I mean, if you're of age, I don't see why not.
I feel like not every day, like there's
don't get dumb
day.
about it. Like just sit
Yeah.
in your house all day and just smoke, but like,
Yeah.
if you're
Well, this
bored-
has been a very interesting show. We learned some facts about marijuana and its usage in the United States, as well as your personal opinions on the legalization of it. We discussed the pros and cons of marijuana being legalized, and we made some predictions on the future legalization of marijuana in the United States. This has been my show with Cassandra, Joe, and Waleed. I'm Alessandra Carreno with WHICradio.org, and this has been the 12 o'clock turn up.
stay in school.
Oh my God.